So relationships are really fundamental to MMC adoption. What we typically have is a very linear procurement route where main contractors are brought in much later in the design process when it's almost fundamentally complete. MMC asks a different question, and it asks those same people and the supply chains to be engaged and involved much earlier in the process so that they can influence the outcome for the better. So working together, we can adopt an MMC mindset for the construction phase as well as the design.
There is new roles and responsibilities with this process because you're looking at that production manufacturing. So you're looking at supply chain optimization. You're looking at making sure that your early engagement, having that materials up front, having the labour set up and ready. There's also things that looking at different forms of contracts. You've got that risk sharing. You've got that funding model that has to be, so the different cash flow arrangements. So it requires people to bring something different. So therefore there's different responsibilities that need to be set from the very start. So the likes for a quantity surveyor wouldn't be doing monthly applications or payments. They will now have to be doing an upfronted, cash-loaded type of project. So it's something different. The architects will be a lot more involved and engaged. So will be the design engineers. You've also got the production process people that they have to set up the production runs. So there's a lot more activity that happens at the very front end of these off-site manufacturing processes, and that has to change. So those roles, and from that, other roles are then starting to spin out of that process. So you're looking at people around material technology, you're looking at innovative solutions, you're looking at lean manufacturing, as well as procurement and supply chain optimization. So definitely a big change there.
We are typically responsible for the structural design of the elements that we sell. Typically the architectural design comes from the client's design team. The reason for that process is manufacturer A will have a different structural design from manufacturer B, and that is mainly based around the factory processes, whereas some manufacturers will assemble in a 3D format, some will assemble in a 2D format, and then pin everything together after that once the sub-assemblies are built together. So due to that fact, each manufacturer needs to have their own design and take responsibility for that design.
As the design teams want to maybe embrace new technologies, they can be quite reluctant to introduce elements of MMC into their design because they don't want to wed the design or the contractor to one type of solution. And that's justifiably, that there is good reason, good logic to that. So we need to kind of have the design flexible enough to allow the contractor to bring the suppliers and subcontractors to the table to have the discussion. So that coordination, it is good to have it early, but how early? There's such a thing as being too early or trying to be too smart about how you do it.
The traditional approach to project management is no longer there. This is a manufacturing mindset. This is a production type of methodology and approach to building off-site. So what you need to do is you need to bring that element to us, but we may not have been familiar with that. So you're asking people to come out of a comfort zone, you're asking them to look at it from a different perspective and to get more involved up front, whereas traditionally a scope or a specification or a set of drawings are passed down to various different contractors, main contractors, general contractors, right down to specialists, and they would build to those, and then there might be a small bit of iteration in those processes to refine it. Now it's a lot more round table, a lot more engagement, so it's lending itself to different relationships, different stakeholder management. You're looking at alliances, so you're looking at a collaborative form of engagement, and that's what's key to this. There is some frameworks out there that are now very collaborative, and it's relationship management. And it's building those relationships which will then lead itself to trust and collaboration, which will then feed on to the downstream processes.
So the role of the main contractor in MMC is we're essentially the glue. We're bringing what the client wants, and we're bringing the expertise of our team and of our suppliers and subcontractors. We've been doing MMC. It's no different to any other form of construction. As the contractor, we're always bringing innovation to our clients. Ideally, if you want to bring change or a different way of building something, it's best to get involved early. So the earlier we engage with the designer and the client in possible ways to increase value on their projects. And value can mean different things to different clients. So is it performance? Is it look? Is it cost? So understanding what the value is that we need to try and unlock. Get in early, discuss it with the design teams, and come up with ways that we can achieve better value for our clients.
Sustainability is at the core of everything that we do. We design with sustainability in mind, and we manufacture in a very sustainable manner. Our wastage is much, much less than a traditional project. Plus also we're able to control our waste in a much better manner. It's much easier to segregate and to send some of that waste for reuse as well as recycling. The other advantage is that we're able to run this factory on self-generated solar PV power. So this factory and our additional factory just adjacent to us here both run off 95% solar power. That's not possible in a traditional project. So for clients, it's a big, big plus for them knowing that products that are built here are actually built in a sustainable manner that are not affecting the local environment. Plus the amount of deliveries is vastly reduced. So the carbon footprint going to a particular project is much lower because of the amount of deliveries which are not going to the project. Plus the amount of cars which are not going to the project, which are coming to the factory instead. So there's a lot of different advantages through sustainability.